Penn State just shocked Ohio State a couple of days ago.
Yep.
And what was perceived as a position of weakness now looks like it's emerging as a position of strength. Penn State's defensive line. James Franklin talked about it Wednesday at his news conference about how the red shirts are starting to get better with more reps. But I wanted to ask you about your impressions of the play against Ohio State on Wednesday. Specifically, I think you've seen Kevin Givens, with less snaps, start to play better. Ryan Buchholz, I thought, did some nice things. And Evan Schwan was a guy off the edge that gave Ohio State a lot of trouble. I mean, obviously Garrett Sickles changed the game when he came in the third quarter after the suspension. But they had a lot of, Sharif Miller, they had a lot of guys really get after J.T. Barrett.
Yeah, we could be here a while if we broke down every one of those guys' performance, and every one of them would get a good grade. I mean, I think you saw the defensive tackles really take over the game, not on the stat sheet, but allowing those ends to really get to a collapsed pocket almost every single time. And it's Evan Schwan and Garrett Sickles, the two veterans, but it's also the young guys you mentioned, Torrance Brown, Sharif Miller. They're getting a lot of production from younger guys that are starting to sort of figure it out. I think those guys early in the season, Robert Windsor, Sharif Miller, even Brown still, they were still trying to piece together how to play a full 60 minutes at high level. They finally figured it out and showed it on Saturday night.
Yeah, I wonder if the decision to put Curtis Cawthorn as the starter at the 3 technique and let Kevin Givens come off the bench maybe relaxed him a little.
Yeah.
He's playing less snaps. He really caused problems inside, and the Buckeyes have a couple of good players inside. He gave him all he wanted. I think that was a really smart coaching decision, which brings me to my last point. You can talk about it. Sean Spencer gets a lot of credit as a recruiter, and deservedly so. But what about him as a coach and a developer of talent and a motivator? I think you're seeing another side of him, much like in 2014 and 2015. He's the guy that probably should get a lot of credit for the work with Carl Nassib.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, you think of Nassib, you think of the way Anthony Zettel developed, Austin Johnson, of course, and now this year's defensive line. He's as good as they come, and that's something that when you look at the staff and the makeup of it, they have a lot of guys that other schools are going to look at as coordinators potentially one day, and Sean Spencer is absolutely one of them. I think his stock keeps rising and rising in college football circles, and it's because of the job he's done with young and old guys alike.
Okay, so 6 sacks against Ohio State. The question is,